Good evening and welcome to the Coon Rapids City Council meeting for Tuesday, October 18th, 2016. If you'd please rise and join us for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Clint?
Here.
Councilmember Manning?
Here.
Councilmember Demmer?
Here.
Councilmember Geisler?
Here.
Councilmember Johnson?
Here.
Councilmember Wells?
Here.
Mayor Cook?
Here. Thank you. First item on our agenda this evening is to adopt the agenda.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Johnson, second by Wells. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And the agenda is adopted. We don't have any proclamations or presentations this evening. So item one will be to approve the minutes of our October 4th, 2016 City Council meeting.
So moved, Your Honor. Second.
Motion by Clint, second by Geisler. Any discussion or corrections? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And those are approved. Next is our consent agenda this evening, and we have 3 items on it. And the first one is to approve a Class A on-sale Sunday and 2 a.m. liquor license for AMC Theaters, Coon Rapids 16. And I'm just going to do a quick read here. Bridget Holton Deere, AMC Director of Alcohol Licensing, has submitted an application for a Class A on-sale 2 a.m. and Sunday liquor license for AMC Theaters, Coon Rapids 16, located at 10051 Woodcrest Drive. AMC Theaters is in the process of remodeling the building to include adding a few tables to each of the 16 theater viewing auditoriums and adding a restaurant and a bar area called McGuffin's Bar to the main lobby area. The license and investigation fees have been paid. The police department has conducted a comprehensive background investigation on the business and found nothing to prevent licensing. A certificate of insurance evidencing liquor liability and workers' compensation coverage has been received. Approval of the license would be conditioned upon a certificate of occupancy issued by the chief building official when the remodeling is complete. So our first item would be to approve issuance of a Class A on-sale 2 a.m. and Sunday liquor license to American Multi-Cinema Incorporated, doing business as AMC Theaters, Coon Rapids 16, 10051 Woodcrest Drive, Northwest, contingent upon obtaining a certificate of occupancy from the chief building official. I promise I'll do the next one quicker. Our second item on our consent agenda is to recommend to the chief judge for the 10th Judicial District that Stephanie Mansteller be reappointed to serve another 4-year term effective October 20th, 2016, with said term to expire October 2020, and that is for the city's Charter Commission. And then our third item on our consent agenda is to adopt resolution number 16-116 to accept a $100 donation from North Star Towing Incorporated for Coon Rapids Love My Pet Fair activities and extend its gratitude to North Star Towing Incorporated for its generosity.
Your Honor,
Councilmember Manning.
I move adoption of the consent agenda. Second.
Motion by Manning, second by Johnson. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? And the consent agenda is approved. Our next item on our agenda is to consider Community Development Block Grant Program and authorize the 2016 Rehabilitation Service Contract. Really what this is, the city's program has provided qualifying homeowners with housing rehabilitation loans since 2001, adding a loan option tailored to energy efficiency improvements in 2011. The rehab program provides zero interest deferred loans of up to $24,999 for housing rehabilitation and maintenance work, plus additional funds of up to $5,000 in grant assistance to address lead-based hazards. There are various parts of this program, and there are various income requirements, and if you have any interest in any of these really worthwhile programs for fixing up your older home in town, you would just want to check with Cheryl or somebody in our housing department, I'll bet. Right?
Yes,
And-
a resident can also contact the Housing Resource Center, which is the subject of this contract tonight,
Okay.
and they're at 651-486-7401.
Excellent. So we're looking, unless anybody needs any questions or has any questions, we'll be looking for a motion on this.
Your Honor,
Councilmember Manning.
I move authorization by the mayor and the city manager to execute a service contract together with any other necessary documents with the Greater Metropolitan Housing Corporation to administer the 2016 Community Development Block Grant Housing Rehabilitation Program.
Second.
Motion by Manning, second by Geisler. And thank you for the clarification. I picked out the parts that I thought I should read and forgot that I should actually mention that we're actually authorizing the contract. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that motion carries. Our next item on the agenda is to consider introduction of an ordinance revising the fees for 2017 and set a public hearing for liquor license fee increases. We have multiple slight adjustments to our liquor licensing fees, property monitoring fees. Anything you want me to hit here? Otherwise, it's important to know that any liquor license adjustments will require a public hearing. State law requires a public hearing for any increase to certain fees for the sale of alcoholic beverages. Fees are proposed to increase by $5 from $150 to $155 for off-sale 3-2 malt liquor licenses and $15 from $7.10 to $7.25 for on-sale 3-2 malt liquor licenses. And council is being asked to set a public hearing regarding these fee increases for November 5th, 2016 at 7 p.m. So do we need a motion to set the public hearing, or do we just make the announcement that we're having a public hearing? This is an introduction and set a public hearing. So do we just say we're having a public hearing and that sets it?
That should be sufficient.
Okay, so we are going to consider this introduced, the ordinance to revise certain license fees, service fees, and related charges that will be effective January 1st, 2017. And we are setting a public hearing for November 15th, 2016 at 7 p.m. regarding the fee increases for on-sale 3-2 malt liquor and off-sale 3-2 malt liquor. And then, I don't know, it took us so long to get here. It's our last item on our agenda. Consider adoption of Resolution 16-117, providing preliminary approval of a bond inducement for Coon Creek Senior Community Limited Partners. The ownership group is asking the city to act as issuer for tax-exempt bonds in an amount not to exceed $5 million to fund the acquisition and rehabilitation of cottages of Coon Creek. If issued, the partners will rehabilitate the development at an average cost of $13,520 per unit, which includes new roofs, heating, ventilation, and air conditioning units, water heaters, and household appliances, as well as related improvements to the community activity center. The total renovation work amounts to the renovation work is $648,971, including an 11% contingency. The balance of the bonds will finance the acquisition of the project by Coon Creek Senior Community Limited Partnership. The city is under no obligation for the repayment of these bonds. So actually, okay, so a good portion, most of the $5 million is to fund the acquisition, and then $648,000 is to fund the rehabilitation. Correct?
Mr. Mayor, can I just,
I would love it, Mr. Fergus.
I can just clarify a couple points.
Thank you.
I learned this afternoon from representatives of the ownership group that the rehab amount is actually higher I don't know if you remember this, but at the work session in September, we talked a little bit about the minimum threshold that the state has for rehab, which is $15,000 a unit. And so that rehab amount will actually be closer to 800, it's in the Ellers analysis that was attached, close to $870,000, which is $18,000 a unit. So it exceeds the threshold that the state has established.
Okay.
Your Honor,
Councilmember Clint?
I move that we adopt Resolution 16-117, granting preliminary approval for the cottages of Coon Creek.
Second.
And this is going to come back at a later date for the final, right?
Correct.
Motion by Clint, second by Wells. Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? And that motion carries. Is anybody here for open mic this evening? Well, there was one other person back there, but I don't see her now. I'm going to take that as a no. We don't have any reports on previous open mics, and we are up to other business. It's a beautiful thing. The only thing I've got for other business is our Coon Rapids Police Department will be accepting unused or expired medication for safe disposal this Saturday, October 22nd, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Just bring them to the police department lobby here at Coon Rapids City Hall at the police department. Anything else, Mr. Stemwedel?
I'll just mention that the Coon Rapids Ice Center is going to have on October 30th a spooky skate. It's sort of Halloween themed night. I think it starts at 5:30. There's a charge, I think, for any adults or children over the age of 5, but they have kind of a haunted house or haunted hallway, I think they're calling it, games, things like that, and you can obviously skate as well. So it should be a pretty fun event out there right before Halloween.
Sounds good. Any other business to come before council this evening? All right, look for a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Johnson, second by Wells. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned.